Jatrine. What I have for you today is a grounded flow. It's typically my go-to when something in life has happened and has left me feeling destabilized or anxious. This practice is going to be a blend of grounding. It's going to be a blend of strength. And we're also definitely going to focus, as always, on the breath. I invite you to use whatever yoga props that you may need. Be gentle with yourself. We'll get started in child's pose. It's Roxy over there. So as we come into child's pose, separate the knees, allow the big toes to touch. Reach the arms out in front of you and release your forehead to a block or to the mat. And allow your body to just surrender here. Bring your awareness to your breathing. Notice each in-breath, each pause, each out-breath. As you inhale, extend the arms forward a little bit more. Press the hips back towards the heels and press all 10 fingers into the mat, feeling grounded here. Feel the earth beneath you. Press the tops of the feet into the mat. In this pose, surrender whatever you brought to the mat that may be causing you to feel unsettled, destabilized, anxious. Do what you can to exhale it away and inhale more of the present moment. On your next inhale, bring yourself on up as we come into tabletop. Once again, spread the fingers wide. Have the middle fingers pointing towards the front of the mat. Line up the hands beneath the shoulders, knees beneath the hips. Gently tuck the pelvis, engage the core. Inhale for cow, pressing the mat down and away from you. Exhale for cat. Continue with this movement, flowing with your breath, and add in whatever other movement you may need here. And when you're ready, come back into table. Walk your hands forward a bit. We're going to make our way into our first downward facing dog. So make sure that most of the weight in the hands is between the thumb and index finger. Release the head so that ears rest between the biceps. Press your heart towards your thighs. Press your hips up and back. And just release your heels towards the mat. Feel free to take a little movement here. Bending one knee and then the other. And as you're ready, come to stillness. Ground into the hands. Allow the head to be heavy. On your next inhale, very slow motion. Walk your hands to your feet. Separate your feet the width of the mat. We're going to come into Malasana, and I know it's early to ease into this pose. It's going to take some strength and some breathing. If you like, you can place a mat underneath your bottom to customize a pose for your body. Release your pelvis towards the earth. Press your feet into the ground. Press your arms into the legs, legs into the arms. And press the palms in towards one another and just breathe here. So take a moment and envision a mountain. That's what I always think of when I want to embody a sense of groundedness. The mountain is steady and strong and grounded. It has an inherent sense of resilience. It manages to weather the storms. And that's something that we can practice both on our mat so we can take that into our day-to-day lives. Take a big breath in to come out of this pose slowly. Bring the hips up towards the sky, heel toe the feet in towards one another. Bend the knees generously and take hold of opposite elbows, allowing the crown of your head to just melt towards the mat. And I love to take a little movement here. You've probably heard me say lots of times that any sort of rocking motion, swaying, is a natural way to calm our nervous system. So if it feels good to you, I invite you to take a little sway or a little rock. And slowly release. We're going to walk our way into a plank pose. Take your time getting into it. Again, those hands are pressed into the mat. I like to think that I'm pressing my mat down and away from me. My belly button is pulled into the spine. Engage the glutes. And breathe. The breath is often the one thing that we let go of when life hits us in the face, when we feel anxious or worried. So connect with the breath here, even if you feel a little challenged in this pose, and even if you don't. Take another full breath in, and as exhale, bring the knees to the mat. Go ahead and separate those knees and make your way back into child's pose. Breathe in. Notice the belly flows out. Breathe out, belly in. Inhale to come back into that downward facing dog. Nice. This time, step that left foot up between the hands, even if you have to grab it and help it along. No worries there. Bringing the right knee to the mat. Inhale both hands to that left leg, that left thigh. So roll the shoulders down and back and press your heart forward. A lot of times our bodies take on the shape of the emotion we're experiencing. So when we feel anxious or worried, it's almost as if the body protects us, and sometimes we round and curve forward. So roll those shoulders back, heart forward, and to embody this grounded, courageous shape. Deep and steady inhales. And slowly bring that right hand to the mat, untuck the right toes. Inhale that left arm high to the sky, taking a nice twist. Good. And then slowly release, stepping back into that downward facing dog. Full breath in. Walk the hands towards the back of the mat, coming into that malasana once again. Slow and steady breaths. Release into that forward fold. You can take hold of opposite elbow here or release the hands towards the mat, whatever feels best. Full breath in, full breath out. Release and float yourself back into that plank pose. We are all so much stronger than we know, and then we often give ourselves credit for, rather. And exhale, knees to the mat. Child's pose. Inhale, downward facing dog. Take a full breath in and a full breath out. On your next inhale, step that right foot between the hands, release the left knee down, low lunge on this side. So again, rolling the shoulders back and away from the ears. Take a proud and courageous posture here. Grounded into that right foot. Grounded into the top of the left foot as well. Bring that left hand to the mat and move into that twist. You also always have the option to keep that left knee on the mat for the twist. Slowly release. Coming into that downward facing dog. Full breath in, full breath out. Walking the hands to the feet. Coming into that malasana at the back of your mat. Take a cleansing breath here. Release into that forward fold. Walk your way into plank. All the awareness on the breath. Deep breath in, full breath out. Release the knees to the mat. Separate the knees. Child's pose. So I'm going to repeat all of that a little faster this time. So come into that downward facing dog. Some slight variations as we step the left foot forward, right knee to the mat. This time inhale the arms high to the sky, soften the shoulders, and breathe. Exhale, release, right hand to the mat. Inhale the left arm high to the sky, taking that twist. Release, coming into that downward facing dog. Walk the hands to the feet. Malasana. We won't be here as long this time. Release into that forward fold. Hips are high to the sky. Full breath in, full breath out. Walk your way into plank. Knees to the mat. Take that child's pose. Full breath in, full breath out. Inhale to come into that downward facing dog. Step the right foot between the hands. The lunge, inhale the arms high to the sky. Exhale into that twist. Good. Release into downward facing dog, our last one for now. Good. Exhale the knees to the mat. Cross the ankles or come into a seated position in any way that makes sense for your body. We're going to come into butterfly pose, Baddha Konasana. So wiggle around, maybe you need to move the flesh of your bottom out of the way, bring the soles of the feet to touch. Lengthen the crown of the head towards the sky here. And then if you like, you can hold here, or if on your next exhale, slowly bring yourself forward. So as you know, Malasana and Baddha Konasana are hip opening poses. And whenever I'm feeling ungrounded, unsettled, I sometimes reluctantly choose hip openers because they help release so much of the emotions that are stored in our hips. I've learned you can't go around the tough stuff. You got to go through it, and our yoga practice can help us do that with a little bit more ease and flexibility, awareness, and strength. Inhale to slowly come out of this pose. Go ahead and straighten those legs out in front of you. Just going to take a nice forward fold here. Just walk your hands towards your feet. Now the goal is not to get to the feet. It's just to get a nice stretch in the lower back and in the hamstrings. And sometimes it's nice to separate your feet and just make room for your body, which is exactly what I'm going to do. This is a perfect place for a block or two so that you can bring the floor up to you. Just allow your body to do what it needs to in this pose. Full breath in, full breath out. Inhale, walk the hands up, back up towards your body. You might want to windshield wiper the legs from side to side. We're going to make our way onto our backs. So ease on down, bring the knees into the chest, take a little bit of movement. Again, rocking if that feels good to your body, or just hug yourself here and release your entire back body onto the mat. Take a full breath in and release the knees over to the left for a nice spinal twist. Take the version of this pose that works best for your body. You might want to extend the arms out to a T. Place one hand on your body, one hand alongside your body. And breathe in for a count of 3. Pause for 3. Exhale for 3. Pause for 3. Continue. And wherever you are, take a cleansing breath, full breath in through the nose. Open the mouth wide with a ha sound, let it go. And use your next inhale to slowly switch sides in that spinal twist. Full breath in, full breath out. Breathe in for your own count of 3. Pause for 3. Exhale for 3. Pause for 3. And wherever you are, take a cleansing breath. Full deep breath in through the nose, opening the mouth wide and exhaling fully. And then take whatever movement that you need so that you can settle comfortably into your Shavasana. If you have more time to stay here in Shavasana, I invite you to do that. Otherwise, wiggle fingers and toes, rotate wrists and ankles. Take a deep breath in and a full breath out. And on your next inhale, roll over onto your favorite side, resting your head on your hands, tucking the knees towards your chest. And with the eyes closed, or just your gaze lowered towards the ground, inhale to come up to a comfortable seated position. Once you're up, rest your hands, palms down on your knees for an additional sense of grounding and connectedness. On your next inhale, bring one hand to your heart, one hand to your belly. And thank yourself for taking this time. Taking this time to nurture your mind, your body, your emotions. And then inhale, the palms to touch in prayer. I hope that this practice leaves you feeling a little calmer, a little more peaceful, more grounded. Remembering that off the mat, being grounded is a beautiful blend of strength, being present, and believing in our ability to be resilient. Dip the chin, blink the eyes open. I just want to thank you so much for allowing me to be your guide in this practice, and I wish you peace and well-being and happiness as you move through the rest of the day. Thank you so much. I can't wait to see you next time. Take care. That is, we can take these practices off of the mat into our lives to help us cope, to help us navigate whatever comes our way with a little bit more grace and ease.